So you want to become a real estate investor. I'm sure you've heard it all before that real estate's created the most millionaires ever. You can create amazing passive residual income through owning rental properties. That income can provide you a lifestyle to sit back on the beach and drink your pina colada. The problem is how do you know that the deal that you're trying to purchase is even a good deal in the first place? So in this video, I'm gonna review a deal live for you, screen share, walk you through my exact thought process on how I evaluate deals and how I've been able to flip over 300 houses. And this is the first time I've seen this deal, so it's gonna be real, raw, live emotions. So if this is your first time here or your 100th time here, if you could smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I would greatly appreciate that. So let's dive into this. So this is a deal that I got sent to me from a wholesaler. So if you're getting a deal from a wholesaler or a realtor, or you're seeing it driving down the street, whatever it is, you're seeing a deal for the first time. There's a few things that you need to have. You need to understand the address, obviously. You need to have pictures / condition of the property. And then you need a few numbers to be able to evaluate a deal properly to see if it's gonna make sense. So we're about to dive into this live right here, right now, see if it makes sense. So the first number that we need to get is the ARV, the after repaired value of a property. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come in here and you're gonna type in the address. I use Propstream.com. You can also use Zillow.com as well, or the MLS, whichever one you have access to. So I'm gonna type in my address and I'm gonna click the address here, and then it pulls this up. You gotta click details down here. You then need to see comps and nearby listings. And then you want to take it to residential property, single family, or duplex, or whatever the property is. And then I always do 6 months. So move it up to 6 months ago from today is the properties that I want to know when they sold. So now that we have that data in here, we can scroll down here, and then these are the houses in the area that have sold. So the goal is to not cross main streets. So I don't want to go east of Lockbourne because this might be an entirely different neighborhood. So I'm going to take this little arrow here, and I'm gonna draw a square around these comps on this side of Lockbourne. And then what happens is, it gives me all these comps. Once it loads, it'll give me all the comparable houses in the area that have sold similar to mine. So mine is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 800 square foot property. So I wanna comp it comparable to other 2-bed, 1-bath, roughly 800 square foot properties. So these 3 beds, I don't know if I'm gonna use those yet because they're 3 bedrooms, they're not 2 bedrooms. Because if they have an extra bedroom, they're obviously gonna be worth more. So I'm gonna come in here. This one sold for 51,000. This one sold for 82, 210, 16, 153, and 100. So wide range of sales. So let's see if we can narrow it down a little bit. So if we're looking at this one for 82,000, let's look at the pictures here. And as we go through, it's got overgrown weeds, the carpet's terrible, the kitchens are terrible. So this was a property that was not renovated. So after repaired value is not this, because this is not repaired. So then we're gonna bounce down to this next one. That's a 2-bed, 1-bath for 153.5. Click the pictures, and there's no pictures. So let's take the address, see if we can throw the address into Google and see if we can get any pictures out of here. Boom, so here's the pictures. So we're gonna open this up. Outside, it looks super nice, nice windows, nice siding, nice roof. Inside, someone's living in it. The flooring could get redone, but paint's nice. It's got a nice chimney. Let's get to the kitchen. Kitchen's updated. It's got nice some nice appliances, stainless versus white appliances. Countertops, let's keep going. Bathroom, kitchens and bathrooms usually tell like if the property's updated or not. So bathroom, not like crazy nice, but it's not bad by any means. So this is a pretty nice property. Ours might be a tiny bit better because ours will be fully renovated compared to theirs, being 80, 90% renovated. But this is a solid comp. And if you look at the map here on Propstream, this property, number 5, is 2.5, 3 blocks away from our property. So that's a good comp. So our property's probably worth in the 153 to maybe 160 range because ours again might be slightly better. But this one also has an extra 100 square feet that we don't have. So give or take, ours is going to be worth right around $155,000. So that's the first number that you need to come up with, is the ARV, the after repaired value. So next number you need to have is the repair budget. So you got to understand how much money you're going to spend on renovating this property. So you either have to personally walk the property yourself, or you have to have somebody walk the property for you and send you like 100 pictures. Because if you have 100 pictures, you can go through and you can understand the estimate of how much it's going to cost to renovate. So if we go in here, click on this picture. Literally it needs paint, that's about it. So very good condition. This is rare to have a property in this good a condition. You come into the kitchen, we got a fridge obviously. Let's see if we can get a different angle. So cabinets are okay, a little bit older, so we probably need to paint the cabinets and maybe add a couple hinges down here to make the doors look a little bit better. We probably don't even need to replace the countertops, because if you look at this one here, it's kind of got, the Formica countertops, butcher block, so it's not like overly renovated, but solid condition. I'd probably just paint the cabinets, honestly. And then the flooring, you can see the chips in here, so we got to put down some new LVT flooring. And as we go through this, like literally all it needs is paint so far. Cleaning, obviously, flooring, a new door. You see this is all broken out and stuff, so swap out the door. That's the staircase to the basement. Down here in the basement, the walls are going to need painted. That's a window that needs a glass block window put into it. So paint the basement. We got some water issues, so again, paint it. Probably fix some gutters outside. Out back we got a nice deck, a pool. Got to get rid of the pool. It's a liability issue. Electrical, it's working, it's functional. These are older houses as is. So as long as they're working, we can probably keep that. Again, paint the walls. Outside we got some wood siding. So at minimum we need to paint the outside and then probably patch a few areas of the siding as well, because you can see some falling off. So paint and some patchwork. And then down here in the basement, so the basement's finished, but remember with the pictures we just saw, there's also water damage in the basement. So, we're probably gonna have to come in here and rip all this out, because there's probably gonna be water in the basement. A lot of times you can see it in the corners, but you can't really see that on this picture. So probably budget for some drywall for sure. And you can actually see some stains up here. So definitely some water issues in the basement. As we continue to go through here, clean it out. Obviously need some trash, some demo. This is the garage, so the garage is going to need painted and patched as well. Let's keep going through the pictures. Painted, patched, drywall, AC looks solid, electrical is updated. So we're going to paint it just like they painted it. We're just going to paint the whole basement and just not that section. So the AC looked brand new, which I'm going to guess that the furnace is newer, especially because somebody's living in there. It's probably working, but you can have somebody test that out, obviously. And then, so this is where the plumbing goes down, and there's water around it, which means that there's a leak in the stack. So we probably have to replace a portion, if not all, of that stack. Which can get expensive. Usually it's like a $1,000 fix, but if it's underground where it's leaking, that's a bigger issue, but my guess is that's not going to be the problem. Hot water tank, you can see it's leaking, so probably needs a new hot water tank. Let's keep going through some pictures. This is the basement, obviously water issues, so we're definitely going to have to rip the stuff out down there. We got some overgrown weeds on the garage. We got to get that stuff off. Roof is older. So we got to see if that leaks. Water issues in the basement, definitely got to rip all that stuff out. So we're almost through all the pictures. You see how there's a lot of pictures. If you have a lot of pictures, you can understand the full scope of a property. So in here we got tile, toilet, vanity, maybe swap out the vanity or change out the doors. Let's see what the shower looks like. Shower, again, nothing crazy nice, but it works. So it's not the end of the world. Let's keep going through here. Got to sand and refinish the floors, paint the bedrooms, change out the light fixtures. That's, without a light, that doesn't really work. Yeah, so we're through it. So we're back to 1 of 112. So you see how we had so many pictures in there? That's a good thing, because we want to see every part of the house to come up with an accurate repair budget. So the next thing that you need to do is you need to actually estimate the repairs. So what my team and my students use is this repair estimator that you can come out and you can get an idea of what something's going to cost. So as we said, we got to paint it. We got to paint the property, obviously. So this is a smaller property. It's like 800 square feet, so this is going to be smaller. The outside, we definitely have to paint the outside of the property. We need to patch some parts of the wood. So we're going to do like, a few $1,000s in that, maybe a little bit less than that. Paint the garage floor, punch. There's always going to be a little bit of drywall work. Always. It never fails. So we're definitely going to need some drywall work. And in the basement, instead of refinishing the basement, we're just going to take everything out of the basement. Because again, if you look at the comps, you do not need a finished basement to get the $155,000 value. So we're not going to be replacing the drywall. We're just going to demo it all out of there. So then the water doesn't continue to cause problems on the drywall and the wood in the basement. And then in the bathroom, we do need a vanity. We don't need toilet, don't need mirror. Got to caulk the tub. And that's it in the bathroom. Countertops are good. We got to sand and refinish the hardwood or install LVT. So probably half of it's hardwood. The other half needs some LVT flooring. We got an exterior door, one interior door that needs done. All the appliances were solid. Cabinets, we got to paint the cabinets, we got to add pools on the cabinets, and we got to do a little bit of work to some of the doors. Landscaping, we got to landscape the front, pull the weeds off the back. Furnace, AC was good, electric panel was good. We do need light fixtures. We got to clean out we need a hot water tank too. We need to clean out the property as well, and we need to demo the basement, so it's going to cost a little bit of money. And then windows and roof and those things looked good. So with a 15% contingency, our budget is going to come to about $21,000 to renovate this property. So now we have the numbers that we need. So the first thing we need to know is how long is it going to take us to buy, renovate, and sell this property. This is a very small rehab, so it might take 30, 45 days max. So, and then we need to list it and find a buyer. So we're going to hold this property for probably roughly 90 days. And then our the wholesaler is asking $117,000, and our estimated repair budget is about $20,500. So our financing, we're going to borrow money from a private money lender. We're going to get this 100% financed from somebody else's money, and by doing that, we're going to pay them, let's say, 10% interest on their money. And no origination points and no junk fees. And this is the second position. We're not going to use this because we're getting this all funded from private money. And then we think the ARV was $155,000. And then this is factoring all the taxes, the utilities, the insurance, all these numbers that you need to know is factored in right there. So it spits out profitability on the deal. We're going to make $1,393 in profit, and our private money lender, excuse me, I forgot that. And our private money lender is going to make $3,389 in profit, which is great for them. Sucks for us. We're only going to make $1,900. That is not that is not a good deal to do all that work. So next question is, does it work as a rental property? Through the BRRRR method, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. I'm going to fly through this because this is an entire video in and of itself. If you want to learn more about what the BRRRR is, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat, how to get free houses, you can check out this video up here, and it breaks all the numbers down 100% top to bottom. So make sure you check out that video once we're done with this one. But we come in here, ARV is $155,000, purchase is $117,000. That's the rehab. It's going to take, maybe let's do 120 instead of 90 days. And when it all comes down, the taxes on this were about $1,000 a year. Insurance will be $600 for a 2-bedroom rental property. Let's call it $1,000 a month. So we're going to be all into this thing for $144,000, and the bank on the refinance is going to give us $116,000, meaning we're going to be out of pocket almost $30,000 to own this property, and we're only going to cash flow about $200 a month, which is probably about half of what we need it to actually cash flow. So we really need to be making about $400 a month. So this does not work as a rental property either. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the wholesaler. We got to play with this purchase number to make it profitable for us, and we're looking for a minimum 15% ROI. So if we look at this, $96,000 puts us at 15%. So that's going to be our offer to the wholesaler, $96,000. So that's literally how you evaluate deals. Just because there's a number out there doesn't mean that that number makes sense, and you can't get emotionally attached to that number and try to force a deal to make sense. The numbers are the numbers. There's no way around that. There's zero emotion when doing real estate, when buying rentals, when flipping houses, because if you get emotionally involved, you will lose money. If we buy this property for $117,000 and there's $1,000 in profit, there's a lot of things that can go wrong that we can lose money. That's why we want profitability of 15% margin and a $23,000 in profit. You know, we can mess up a little bit. You know, we can mess up by 5 or 10 grand and still make money on this deal. So you have to have zero emotion when you're investing into real estate. Side note, if you've been with me this entire time, just to give you a heads up, those strings behind me, they're cleaning the windows. That's why they're out there. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that. But this is literally my first time going through this property, my first time seeing it, my first time evaluating. This is literally how I evaluate properties. You got to understand how to run numbers, because every deal out there, like, everybody wants to make a deal, but not every deal makes sense. And this is how you run numbers to see if deals make sense. Now, if the wholesaler was asking 96 grand, guess what? I'm gonna buy this property in an instant because it fits my numbers. So I'm gonna go back to the wholesaler after this, make an offer, $20,000 less, probably not gonna get accepted. I'm gonna make the offer anyways. If I get the deal, let me know if you want me to make an after video of how this deal actually turns out. Drop a comment below and I'll make that second video if I get this deal. Make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can get all this content going forward. As always, appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one.